And one. Be there now. Tell me what's happening.
I'm a child, maybe 10.
10 years old? Are you a boy
Yeah.
or girl?
I'm a girl. But there is a boy there too.
There's a boy as well. Who's this boy?
I think he's my brother.
Okay. What's his name?
Nathan.
What's your name?
My name is Lisa.
Lisa. Okay, Lisa. Can you tell me what you're wearing?
I wear a brown dress and a white, like an apron, and I have a white hat on.
A nightgown?
No, a hat, like a white hat.
A white hat. Okay.
And a brown dress and a white apron.
Can you see any patterns on this apron or on your dress?
No.
What color is it? Is that a brown dress and a white apron?
Yeah.
I see. Are you wearing shoes?
No.
No shoes. What about your brother? What is he wearing? What is Nathan wearing?
Wearing brown trousers and a short-sleeved blue shirt with buttons, brown buttons.
Is he wearing shoes?
No.
No shoes. Are you guys inside or outside?
Outside. We're in the garden.
In the garden. Can you describe this garden for me?
There's lots of, it's a wide grassy field, and then there's apple trees. We were just, there is a basket with apples. And there's some wildflowers too.
What color are those wildflowers? Can you see the color?
And they're purple and yellow.
Is there anyone else around other than yourself and Nathan?
My mom, but she's in the house. She's not outside. She just went inside.
Okay. And what are you guys doing out in the garden with Nathan?
You're just running around playing catch.
Do you do this often?
Yeah.
Okay. How old is your brother Nathan?
10.
Okay, so you're 10 as well. Does that mean that you guys are twins?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Have you and your brother lived here with your parents long?
Yeah, we grew up there.
Okay. Can you describe your house? What does your house look like?
It has brick walls, green door, dark green door, and I think it's got a thatched roof, like a straw roof.
Straw roof?
Yeah. And there's ivy growing on the outside.
there anything that sticks out to you in this? Can you look around and see if there's anything that sticks out to you about this place?
It seems calm. My brother and I, we want to eat an apple.
Okay. What year is it?
1870.
Okay. What town do you live in? Or state?
We're in England.
Okay. So you're here in the garden with your brother. You guys are eating an apple. Tell me what happens next.
Oh, so we're eating the apple, but my brother says, "Catch Amit," and he runs away. And I run after him. But it's like still have the piece of apple in my mouth. But I run. And I choke on my apple. Because I tumbled over a rock or like a bump in the grass.
Mm-hmm. And tell me what happens.
I can't breathe. I can't breathe. But he realizes and he runs back to me. And he calls for my mom. She comes running out the door. But it's like I'm turning blue.
Mm-hmm.
And my brother's crying.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to like shake me. She grabs me from behind and she's kind of like pulling up. But I kind of just hang there.
Mm-hmm. Go on.
I'm coughing, but it's not like it's stuck. And I pass away.
So you didn't survive?
No.
So now you feel that your body's leaving your spirits leaving your body. Tell me what happens. Where does it go?
Where my body goes?
No, what happens as you feel your soul leave your body?
Oh, I leave. I see the scene from above.
Tell me what's happening. What is your mother and your brother?
They're crying, like my mom's crying, and my brother is He's crying because he feels guilty that he wanted to play.
You look in your brother's eyes and tell me, the windows are the eyes to the soul. Do you recognize Nathan as anyone in the current life? In this current life as Jacqueline?
My friend Celine.
Your friend Celine. What about your mother? Do you recognize her as anyone in your current life?
No.
Okay. Well, as you look back on that life, you're observing that scene, know that there is always a lesson in each life that we're supposed to learn. What lesson in that lifetime do you know you were supposed to learn?
It's like when I pass and I see the scene from above, I know that I'm not angry at Celine. Or at Nathan, like my brother. I don't think it's his fault that I died. We were happy and we were playing, and it was an accident.
I want you to connect your mind to his mind now and tell him that.
It was an accident. It's not your fault. An accident happened.
What lesson do you feel that you were supposed to learn in that life? What was the purpose of that life?
When I was still alive?
Yes.
We were very happy and like content. And we had a lovely childhood. And I felt safe. And then I passed. I don't know.
So what lesson will you take with you from that life? What were you to learn from that life?
That sometimes life is short. And unpredicted things happen. I was very loved and very safe in this life.
Do Do you feel you learned that lesson?
Yes.
Okay, great. Now we're going to leave behind that scene. Leave Lisa behind that scene with her brother, Nathan. We're going to leave behind her brother as well. And we're going to float away to the next place your soul takes you. Let's see where you go from here. You're going to detach from that pain and from those emotions. And tell me where you go next. What's happening? Tell me what you're experiencing.
I see lots of different things. I'm very old. I'm in a
Are you in another body now?
yes.
Describe to me where you see. What do you see around you?
I mean, it's like a elderly care home, and I'm an old man.
How old are you?
89. 89.
What year is it?
Recent. It's 1990.
1990. What's the location? What state or city?
I'm in Paris. I can see the Eiffel Tower from my window, but I'm on my own.
Are you inside or outside?
Inside.
So you're inside your room?
Yeah. It's a very simple room. I sit on a chair and I look outside the window. And I have a wooden closet. Yeah, and a wooden bed.
What's your name?
Frank.
Describe to me what else do you see in the room?
There's some wilted flowers. There's a round wooden table next to me. And it has wilted flowers.
Mm-hmm.
And like one of those crocheted little things. I don't know what they're called. There's curtains. Yellow curtains.
Mm-hmm. Frank, let me ask you, how did you Do you know Lisa?
No.
Do you know Jacqueline?
No.
Okay.
He's very old. I'm very old.
Very old. And you said the year is 1990?
1990, yes.
1919 or 990?
90.
Okay. Okay.
It feels I'm losing my memory.
You're losing your memory.
And I'm on my own.
Do you have a family friend?
Yeah, I have a daughter.
What's your daughter's name?
Shanine.
Shanine. Does Shanine come to visit you?
Sometimes, but not very often.
Okay, as you sit in your room, tell me what's happening next.
A nurse comes in, or a taker. She's called Claudia. Oh, Claudine. Claudine?
Mm-hmm.
She asks me how I am. But I don't say anything. I don't respond.
Why don't you respond?
I don't want to talk to her right now.
Why not?
Because I want to talk to my daughter.
You want to talk to your brother?
No, my daughter.
Your daughter. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you happy there in this nursing home?
No, I'm upset that I'm there.
So you came against, you didn't come for your will.
No, they think I can't take care of myself anymore.
Hmm.
But I feel left there. I like shoved off to a lonely place.
Mm-hmm.
And there's only me and the Eiffel Tower.
Mm-hmm.
Because every morning I get up and I look at it. And then mostly I sit there and I look at it. I don't do much else. Sometimes we go outside for a little walk, but I get tired very, very quickly.
How does your body feel?
tired. I have some pain in my back.
You have pain in your back?
Yeah. I'm very stiff.
Mm-hmm. Well, tell me what happens next when she asks you how you are and you don't respond. What happens next?
She keeps talking to me.
What does she
She's
say?
very nice. She says, you're gonna have a lovely day. And look, the sun is shining. And look at all these people outside. And maybe your daughter will visit later. And I respond, my daughter? She says, yes. And I ask, how do you know my daughter? She looks at me kind of sad. She puts her hand on my shoulder. And she says that she will bring my food soon. And she leaves the room.
Tell me what happens next.
I sit there, I stare out of the window. There's two birds in front of my window.
What do they look like?
Like little sparrows. Like brown and small. And then they fly away. And it's like I wish I could fly away with them.
Do you get out much? Do you leave your room at any time to get outside?
No, I stay there.
Okay, so I want you to fast forward to the next important scene in that life is Frank. Fast forward to the very next important scene where something important is happening in your life that's Frank. And when you get there, tell me what's happening.
My daughter comes for a visit. And I lie in bed now. I think I'm about to die. And she comes with my grandson. He runs around the room. His name is Noe.
What is his name?
Noe?
Noe. Okay.
He runs around the room. And my chair falls over. So his mom, she hugs him and she says he needs to be a bit quieter because I need a little quiet time.
You look in the eyes of your daughter, Shanine. The windows are the eyes are the windows to the soul. And tell me, do you recognize Shanine as anyone in your current life that is dark one?
No.
And I want you to take a look at Noe and tell me if you recognize him as anyone in your current life that's Jacqueline.
I know.
Repeat that.
I know him. He's my best friend's son. He's called Nino.
Nino.
Yeah.
What's your best friend's name?
Julia.
Okay. And as you lay there, tell me, how does your body feel?
Very stiff. But yeah, just stiff. I can't move much. But I loved seeing Noe run around.
And tell me, what is your daughter doing? Is she speaking? Is she say anything to you?
She tells me that she tells me memories of us. When she was a little girl, we would paint together. I was a painter. And when she was a young child, I had like an art studio.
Mm-hmm.
And we would paint together. And she said she always really liked that. And she loved this special bond that we had and this time together. She says she sometimes feels bad that she can't visit me more often.
Mm-hmm.
But she's a single mom, so she has lots of responsibilities.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, she can't always come and visit me.
Okay. So I want you to go ahead and take your last breath as a light breath as Frank. Take your last breath. And as you detach from that body and look over that scene, I want you to tell me what you think the lesson of that life was. What was the purpose of that life and the lesson you were supposed to learn?
That I am loved, even though I don't always see it.
Repeat that.
That I am loved, even though sometimes I can't see it.
Okay. Do you think you
And
learned
I
that?
kind of,
Go ahead.
it feels like I kind of gave up. And I didn't take, I felt left to the side in this elderly home. But I also didn't, like, before I got to the point where I couldn't move, I didn't really, like, I didn't still do anything when I had the possibility.
How old are you there as you're laying on your deathbed?
I moved there when I was around 82, and back then I was still in quite good shape. Like, I could go for my walks and eat croissants. But then I lost. I kind of gave up, and I just sat on my chair, and I felt alone.
Do you feel you've learned the lesson that you were supposed to learn?
No. I could have still painted when I was old. But I focused a lot on, yeah, on like feeling like I was left out. And then when my daughter came and she told me about these loving memories, I felt touched, but I also felt sad. Because I didn't see, like, I didn't, yeah, I gave up.
Okay, so now we're going to detach from that life as Frank. We're going to leave behind that scene, leave Janine and Noy, and leave Frank to continue on his path. And as you detach from that body of Frank, tell me what happens. What happens where you go? What do you see?
I fly up, like, out of my body. Up in into the sky.
Explain to me what you see. The more you describe, the more you'll see.
It's like a thunderstorm sky, like dark and gray. There is lightning. And I'm sitting in a house. In a rocking chair.
So you didn't go to the light?
No.
Okay. Sitting in a house in a rocking chair.
Yeah.
What is your name there?
Say that again.
What is your name there?
Emma.
Emma?
Yeah.
How old are you?
About 30.
What year is it?
Like 1920.
In what city or state are you in?
I think it's the Netherlands. I see a river outside my house. I'm in a city.
Tell me, what are you wearing?
I'm wearing a long red dress. It's like a night dress.
What color is your hair?
Brown. I have a long braided hair style. I'm holding a child. I'm nursing a child.
You're nursing a child. Is that your child?
Yeah.
Is it a boy or girl?
A boy.
What's his name?
Ed?
Ed?
Yeah.
How old is Ed?
Very small. 2 months.
What is Ed wearing?
A white onesie. And a little baby hat.
Do you live there alone with Ed?
Yeah.
What about Ed's father? Where is he?
He left.
Are you married?
No. We were supposed to get married, but he left. He would always go to the bars and drink and not come back. And I was maybe 8 months pregnant and he didn't come back. I don't know where he is.
How do you feel there?
Confused but safe. It's my family's place. They don't live there with me, but it's their house.
When you say your family, who's your parents' place?
Yeah.
So this was like a second home for them, and you live there now?
Yeah.
Look around the room.
They,
what are you seeing?
I see a big bed and the baby bed next to it. And I have 2 nightstands. The covers are blue, dark blue. There's a dresser in the corner with a mirror. There's really, I sit in front of, it's really big, narrow windows. And it has wooden floors and a high ceiling. Yeah, my parents said I could live there for as long as I need.
Okay. So as you
But
sit
they
there, go ahead.
did not approve of my not husband, my partner, previous partner. So they were a bit, they're not angry with me, but they were a bit like, felt like I was being irresponsible.
Mm-hmm.
But they still took care of me.
Mm-hmm. Do you work now?
No.
Okay. I want you to take go ahead.
I started to look, but the baby is still so small and they didn't want me to.
Okay. Is there anyone else that helps you with the baby?
No.
Okay. I want you to take a look into Ed's eyes and tell me, is he anyone that you recognize in the life that's Jacqueline?
Yeah, my brother.
Which brother?
Fabrice?
Okay. So as you sit there in a rocking chair in your nursing bed, tell me what happens next.
There's a knock at the door. Very loud, like a rough, loud knocking.
Were you expecting someone?
No. I look, so my window is, I see the door from my window. It's my previous partner.
What's his name?
But I don't. Joel?
Joel?
Yeah.
Is that Ed's father?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't want to open the door.
Why don't you want to open the door?
Because I haven't seen him. He just left 4 months ago. And I don't know what, I can't tell why he's coming back now. And I'm about to go to bed. I don't want him to meet Ed like that.
How is he dressed? Tell me, what is he wearing?
He's wearing dark pants and a coat, a brown coat, a light brown coat. And he's wet because it's raining, but he doesn't have an umbrella.
Okay, so tell me what happens next.
He keeps knocking on the door. But I stay there. But I'm not sure if I should open the door. But I don't. I'm scared that he's drunk and he wants to take away the baby. So I don't open the door.
Okay, so tell me what happens next as he continues to knock.
He leaves after a while. And I put Ed to bed.
Repeat that.
I put Ed in his bed.
Okay.
And I keep sitting there for a bit and I don't know if I made the right decision. And I wonder why he came back.
Mm-hmm.
But it did not feel safe. to open the door, so I didn't.
Okay, go ahead and tell me what happens next.
It's a different day. And I'm at the market with my mother and Ed.
What's your mother's name?
Dahlia. Yeah, we're at the market. We're buying fresh vegetables and some flowers.
I want you to look into the eyes of Dahlia, your mother. Tell me if you recognize her as anyone in her life as Jacqueline.
Yeah, she's my mom.
Mom Ursula?
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me what happens next.
I tell her that we talk about what happened last night and the knocks on the door, and I didn't feel safe. And she tells me, well, of course you didn't open the door. That would have been irresponsible. Like this whole thing is me being irresponsible.
And how does that make you feel to hear her say that?
I'm annoyed. And I get quite snappy at her. But she tells me, well, then that I wouldn't have a home if it wasn't for her and my dad. And that I need to be more grateful.
Okay, let's move forward to next time in that life. That's Emma, and tell me the next time in that life when something important is happening, an important event. Move forward, and when you get there, tell me what's happening.
Oh, I live somewhere else now.
How old are you?
Maybe 35. A few years older than before.
Where do you live now?
In the countryside. In a small village.
Are you still in the Netherlands?
Yeah.
Does that village have a name?
Randwijk.
Spell it.
Randwijk.
Okay. And are you there? Where are you, inside or are you outside?
I'm inside. I'm in the kitchen.
Okay. Look around and tell me what you see in the kitchen.
I stand at the water, at the sink, and there's an oven. There's a door that goes out to the garden. I look out the window and there's some flowers in front of the window. I have some pans hanging along the wall. It's a small house, but it's my house now.
And how were you able to get that house?
I sew clothes. I started sewing clothes, and I sold clothes. It's a small. I don't have a lot of. I'm not rich, but I have my own little place now.
Do you live there alone?
I live there with Ed. He's in the garden. He's looking at some butterflies that are sitting on some flowers. And I hear him talking to them.
Tell me what happens next as you sit there and watch Ed from the kitchen.
I feel happy that I live here now and that I can sustain myself. And Ed comes running in and he tells me about the butterflies. And I tell him that I love him. He's wearing a white shirt that I made for him.
What's important about that scene?
Even though life is simpler now and we don't have as much, but we're happy and we have each other and we're free.
Okay. I want you to move to the very next important time in that life. It's Emma. Forward to the very next important event in that life where something important is happening. And when you get there, I want you to tell me what it is, what's happening.
I'm older now. Maybe I'm about 50.
Okay.
I still live in the same house. I sit in front of the house on a bench.
Mm-hmm.
Ed has left the house. He doesn't live with me anymore.
How do you feel?
But I felt okay. He's grown up and he needs to do his own thing.
Does Ed have a family of his own now?
Yes. He just got married.
So tell me what's happening now that you're there.
I met a new partner.
Repeat that.
I met a new partner.
A new partner. What's his name?
Dominic. He's a cook.
How did you meet Dominic?
He works at a restaurant in the village. And when I moved there, he sometimes helped me with stuff around the house. But we were just, for a long time, we were just friends. Like I've known him since I've moved there. And maybe 10 years ago, his wife passed away. But we were always friends.
Is Dominic there with you now?
Yeah, he's sitting next to me.
Tell me what's happening.
We're watching the sunset. And I feel very happy. I feel happy that Ed is doing well. And I think back to the moment when I sat there and I didn't open the door. That night when he was just a baby. And I'm glad I'm not there anymore. And I'm proud of myself that I left. And then I embraced who I was. And I started to do my own thing, even though it wasn't always easy, but we managed. And yeah. And I have a good relationship with Ed and with Dominic now.
Okay. Tell me what happens next.
I tell Dominic about what I'm thinking.
What does he say?
He tells me he's proud of me. And that when I moved there, that he never thought we'd end up together. But he always, even when I moved there, he always cared for me. But he just didn't, he never thought that at one point in our life we would end up sitting there together. And I laugh and I said I didn't either.
Tell me what happens next.
I tell him I love him. And he says it back to me.
Is that the first time you've told him you love him?
Yes.
So what happens next?
We kiss. And I feel very safe. And I feel that I love him.
Okay, we're going to move forward to the moments before you take your last breath in that life as Emma. Move forward to the time before you take your last breath as Emma. And tell me what's happening.
I stand in the kitchen again. I'm old too. I'm like in my 80s. Yeah, I'm 88. And I make a cup of tea.
Are you alone?
Yes.
Where's Dominique?
He passed like a year ago.
And where's Ed?
He's living with his family. I'm a grandma. I have 2 grandchildren, 2 girls.
What are their names?
And I make, excuse me?
What are your granddaughter's names?
Isabel and Linda.
Isabel. How do you feel there?
In my home?
Yes, as you stand there making tea, how do you feel?
Calm. I feel like I know I'm gonna pass. I feel content.
Do you have any sickness?
No. I just feel a bit tired. It feels like, even though it's just been a year, but it feels like a long time since Dominic has passed.
Mm.
But my family visits me often. But it's, yeah. I have some friends in the village, but it's not really the same ever since he passed.
Mm-hmm.
It's, life is quiet and it's nice, but it's also a bit lonely without him. So I'm not scared to pass.
Okay. So as you make tea, tell me what happens next.
I finish making the tea, but then I I'm, I go to my bed. And I have a little book that I write notes in, or letters. And I write a little letter to Ed.
What does the letter say?
It says that he saved my life. Because I don't think I would have moved away if he wasn't, if I never had him. Because I wanted to protect him and for him to have a safe childhood and to grow up happy and free. And that led me to move away. And that I'm grateful, and yeah, that I love him. And I feel very tired.
So tell me what happens next.
I fall asleep. like a nap, but it's not a nap. And my tea is still next to me. But I won't wake up to drink it.
So go ahead and take your last breath in that life. That's Emma. We're going to leave behind Emma to continue on her journey. Leave behind Ed. Leave behind Dominique. Leave behind Dahlia. And as you look over that life, what lesson were you supposed to learn from that life?
I learned to trust myself and to make my own decisions. And that I can do all these things and be proud of myself.
Do you feel you learned that lesson?
I feel even though my life, like once I moved away from this suppression, or like my cage kind of, and I didn't open the door to that, and then my life unfolded because I started to trust myself more. And also eventually I found love.
Okay, now we're going to move on and allow Emma to continue to journey and Ed to continue on their journey. And Dominique, and leave that life behind with Dahlia. And I like to call on your higher self. Do I have permission to speak with your higher self?
Yes.
Thank you. Can you tell me why you showed Jacqueline the light as Lisa, the little girl in England? Why did you show her that light?
To remind her that life is short and sometimes unexpected things happen. And that they're to live in the moment.
Is that something she struggles with in her current life?
Yes.
And what advice would you give to her? Go ahead.
and to learn to forgive.
What advice would you give to her on being able to do that?
To connect to Nathan. To try and connect to Nathan.
Try and connect to Nathan. Why would she need to connect to Nathan? Nathan is her friend Celine in his life?
Yes. Because he needs to be reminded that it's not his fault. And that she's not angry at him. That I'm not angry at him.
Does Jacqueline and Celine have any issues in their relationship?
They're very similar. And they need to connect again. They've been both doing their own thing a bit. And it's fine, but it's important for them to connect.
And what about the life he showed her as an old man, Frank, and in Paris?
Mm.
Why did you show her that?
To remind her that it's important to keep moving and to be active and to have hope and to not wait around for other people to come. To keep moving and expressing herself so she doesn't get stuck.
Let me ask you, Frank didn't go to the light. Was this an attachment or was this a past life of hers?
A past life.
Okay. You said that the life he was living, the year was 1990. How is that possible?
I was born in 1992.
Awesome. And what about the life you showed her as Emma, the 30-year-old in the Netherlands? Why did you show her that life?
So that she knows that she can trust herself and that she can take care of herself. And that there is a lot, even though it's sometimes difficult to make your own decisions, it will turn out well in the end, and that she can trust that she can go her own way.
So it sounds like trust is a huge factor, something that she needs to learn because it keeps coming up. Is that the case? She having issues
Yes.
with trusting others in her life now?
Yes.
And tell her how she's able to do that. How can she open up and trust more people?
She needs
Go ahead.
to learn that she has trust in herself, and she has a lot to give, and that there are people that she will know who values her trust, but she needs to listen in.
Okay.
She will know who these people are, but she needs to find security in herself so that she doesn't that she doesn't waste her trust in the wrong people.
Let's see. So the life that she experienced as a little girl in England, who basically choked to death, was that the origin of her anxiety? Was that where that was coming from? Breathing issues?
Yes.
And now that she's aware of that, can you help her with that?
Yes.
Help her to relax more and get rid of the anxiety and to breathe better?
Yes.
Thank you. She wants to know how she can feel more present in her body, feel more sensations. She feels like she feels a bit detached from her body at times. How can she feel more present?
She needs to spend more time in nature and look at her surroundings, and be in nature and walk on the earth and remind herself to take deep breaths.
She also wants to know why she feels lonely, especially when she's with her family. She often feels detached from them a bit as well. Why is that?
It's because she feels misunderstood and like it's not safe for her to open up. But it's mostly because she doesn't feel that safety within herself yet. And the sense will grow and she will feel more at ease with her family.
Can you help her with that? Can you work with her on that?
Yes.
Is there anything she can do now to work on that?
I want to remind her that her family, they think they know what's best for her and they want to protect her. But they don't always agree. They don't always see what she really wants. So I want to remind her that before she gets angry or feels removed, that they really just want what's best for her.
Okay. Can you remind her that every time she gets angry, remind her of that?
Yeah.
She's having some problems finding a place, a town or city or a state. She's having problems finding a place that feels like home for her. And she wants to know, where's home? She's searching for a place that she can really feel at home. Can you help her find what is that? Or can you tell her where she should be?
She's on the right track. It's just not the right time yet to settle down.
And when will that time come? When is that?
After she's been to Japan.
After she's been to Japan?
Yes.
Can you tell her where that place is, where she'll settle down at?
It's in Europe.
Any particular place in Europe?
She will still move around. It doesn't feel like one place.
So even when she's in Europe, she'll still feel like she's not at home?
She will feel at home, but she will still move around.
And why does she move around so much? What is this something she's searching for? Or is that just a part of what she's supposed to be doing?
That's what she's supposed to be doing. To explore. She will have a base here in Switzerland, but she will still move.
Okay. How can she wants to know how can she take better care of herself physically?
She can dance more and move around more and laugh out loud more. There needs to be more movement.
Anything else?
Drink more water. She knows what these things are. But it's almost like she's scared to move. There will be so much more expression in life comes when she starts to move more.
Okay. Can you help her?
There's a lot of energy.
Go ahead.
There's a lot of energy that will be set free, like creative energy. And also vitality, like she will feel healthier.
Okay. Can you do a body scan on Jacqueline right now?
Yes.
Let me know if there's any dark spots, any dark areas, anything you see that's not supposed to be there.
There's some pressure in her temple.
Some pressure where?
In her temples.
Pressure in her temples.
And in her jaw.
Temples and jaw. Is that an attachment?
Yes.
Okay. All right, we're gonna bring that. Jacqueline, I want you to lend your lips and your mind to that pressure in your temples and your jaw. I want you to bring it up, 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 and allow it to express itself. Up, 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 allow it to express itself. Lend it your mind and your lips. Hello.
Hello.
Who am I speaking to?
Dahlia.
Dahlia. What are you doing there, Dahlia?
Yes. I'm keeping her safe.
You're keeping her safe.
Yeah, because I know what's best for her.
I know what's best for her. And why do you feel that you know what's best for her?
Because I'm her mother and she's my child, and it just feels like sometimes she can't take care of herself. So I have to step in and remind her what's best for her.
Dahlia, have you been causing any issues there in her body?
Yes.
What have you been causing?
I keep her from expressing herself. I keep her jaw shut. Her mouth.
Well, you know that's not where you belong. You know, she needs to be able to express herself. And you were supposed to go to the light when you passed. Why didn't you go to the light?
I just felt like she needed me.
Well, she's a big girl now. She's moved on. She's no longer that little girl anymore. She's no longer Emma. She's now Emma's transition passed along, and now she has a whole new life that she needs to be able to freely express herself without you hindering her. Can you understand that?
Yeah.
Are you ready to go? You ready to go?
I am.
Great. So Dahlia, I want you to, before you go, pull up all of your roots, all of those issues that you've been causing in her body. Pull yourself up from her temple and her jaw. Scrape up all of the roots, scrape the crevices, pull everything up that you brought with you. And I want you to take it with you when you leave.
I will.
Keep on scraping, keep pulling it up by the roots. Make sure you have everything. Now I want you to imagine and see a light. There should be a light there. A white, bright light. And in that light, you're going to see a guide that's going to come meet you to bring you to your family that's waiting for you. I'm sure there's other people that are waiting for you when you crossed over. They've probably been looking for you, wondering, where's Dahlia? Are you ready to go meet them?
I am.
Okay. Do you see your guide coming forth? Does anyone come forth to assist you?
Yes.
Tell me who is the guide that comes to meet you?
He looks like an angel.
And what is he wearing?
A white gown.
And
And he's barefoot.
Go ahead.
He's barefoot.
Mm-hmm.
And he has a beard.
Okay. And what does he say to you?
He says, I'm glad I found you. We're waiting for you.
And ask him where's he going to take you.
He's gonna take me to meet my family. They're waiting for me in a garden. And there's deers.
Okay. Do you feel safe going with him?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Now take everything that you've pulled up from the roots and scrape from the crevices. And I want you to go and let the love and light of the Creator be with you as you go. Thank you so much, Dahlia. I'd like to speak with the higher self again.
Yes.
Can you tell me if Dahlia is gone now?
She is.
Did she take everything with her?
Yes.
Great. Can you continue a scan and see if you can find anything else? If there's anything that's not supposed to be there.
There's some tightness in the hips.
Repeat that.
There's some tightness in the hips.
Tightness in the hips. Is that an attachment as well?
Yes.
Okay. So if you'll assist me with bringing this tightness in the hips, we're going to bring it up, 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 up. And we're going to lend this tightness in the hips, your mind and your lips to express itself. I count to 3 to 1. And when I get to 1, I want to speak to this tightness that's in the hips. 3, 2, 1. Hello there, friend.
Hi.
What's your name?
Frank.
Frank. What are you doing there, Frank?
It's just hanging out.
Well, why are you hanging out?
Because I want to feel like I'm alive again. And I can move again.
But you know that's not your space. You know you're not supposed to be there.
It's not?
No, you're not supposed to be there. Are you causing problems for Jacqueline?
Well, you know, I'm not that flexible anymore, so maybe. I don't really know.
Well, certainly.
I'm just,
Go ahead.
yeah, I'm just kind of hanging in there. I'm not supposed to be there.
You're not supposed to be there in her hips.
Oh.
When you had a body, Frank, and you passed away, you were supposed to go to the light. Why didn't you go to the light?
I couldn't. It wasn't complete. I wanted to feel alive again.
I understand that, but you understand that your life as Frank has come to an end, and so now you must move on. You can't hang on to someone else's life and cause issues in their body. That's not very nice, is it?
No.
So are you ready to go?
Yes.
Do you have family waiting for you?
Yeah, I do.
Who's waiting for you?
No.
No one's waiting for you. I'm sure he's wondering where is his grandpa? He's probably been waiting for you for some time.
Yeah, he is.
So
I missed him. I missed him too.
So now you'll get a chance to go see him. I want you to go ahead and take all the roots that you've put in, all the tightness that you've been causing in her hips, Other than tightness, what else have you been causing in her hips or in her body?
Yeah, like stiffness.
Okay, so I want you
You
to
know,
go ahead.
it's like feeling like stiff like me, like before I pass. Like, yeah, age.
Okay. All right, so I want you to go ahead and gather all of your roots. I want you to pull them up from the crevices, scrape from the crevices, pull everything up. You're going to take that with you when you leave. Okay. Go ahead and
Okay.
pull it up. And Jacqueline, I want you to tell me if you see him pulling it up. Is it coming up?
It is.
Tell me, what does it look like?
Like dark roots of a tree.
Dark roots of a tree. Okay. So continue, Frank. Go ahead and pull everything out. Scrape it from its crevices. Continue pulling, and I want you to let me know when you've got it all.
Yeah.
Awesome. Now, Frank, before you leave, you should understand that you've been causing Jacqueline to feel the stiffness in her body and the tightness and feeling like she can't move.
Yes.
You understand that's been causing her problems? Is there anything you'd like to tell her before you leave?
I'm sorry. I didn't know. I didn't mean to cause you trouble.
Okay. And Jacqueline, can you forgive him for that?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Okay, Frank, now that you've gathered all of your roots and scraped the crevices and pulled everything up, I want you to look off into the distance. You'll see a bright white light. And I want you to tell me if you notice anyone, if anyone comes to assist you.
Yeah, I see Noi.
Noi.
He's running towards me.
Tell me, how does he look?
He's maybe 10. He has a bright smile, dark hair.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
He takes my hand.
Awesome. Are you ready to go, Frank?
Now I am.
Awesome. So I want you to go ahead and take all of those things with you that you pulled up from the roots. And I want you to go with Noi and tell me where he leads you.
Into the light.
To the right. Thank you so much, Frank. Continue into the light. Go continue to meet your other family that's waiting for you. And may the light of the universe be with you. I'd like to speak to the higher self again, please.
Yes.
Thank you so much for assisting with that. Can you continue your scan and tell me if you see any other attachments or anything that's not supposed to be there? Continue your scan on her body. Let me know if you see anything out of place.
No, there isn't.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Hey, I have another question. Or rather, Jacqueline has another question for you. She wants to know what's holding her back from being fully from fully being herself and embracing her desires.
We cleared it now.
Repeat that, please.
We cleared it.
You cleared it. So those attachments, is that what you're referring to?
Yes.
Awesome. So she shouldn't have any other issues with that. She should be able to express herself and be able to move freely like she needs to.
Yes.
Awesome.
She needs to move. And she can move.
Awesome. Okay, is there anything else you'd like to tell Jacqueline?
I'm happy she came here. And I'm happy we talk more. And I'm always with her. And she knows that.
Awesome. Is there anything else you'd like to tell her? Is there anything you'd like to tell me?
Thanks for holding the space for her. These attachments were important to remove. So thank you.
Is that why you brought her here today for this session?
Yes.
Thank you so much for that. Now, Jacqueline, we're going to begin our journey into returning wide awake. Welcome back. How do you feel?
Oh, good. Wow. Who knew? Who knew I had an old man hanging in my hips?
Right. That explains all your feeling, which could be connected to feeling like you don't feel like yourself, feeling detached from your body a bit.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Let me turn on the light.
So
That was so good.
How long do you think you were under?
Like an hour?
About 2 hours.
Yeah. Because it's dark out now. Like when you were counting, like, okay, from 1 to 5, I suddenly realized, oh, it feels, yeah, it's dark outside. So it must be way later than I thought it was.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Do you remember much? Do you think you remember everything?
No.
All right, let's see. Do you remember Lisa?
No.
Lisa, that was one of your past lives. You were a 10-year-old girl in England in 1870. Do you remember any of that?
There was something with an apple, no?
Yes.
Yeah.
So what happened was you had a twin brother. You guys were playing in the garden,
Yeah.
and you started playing tag. But when you were eating the apple and you started running after him, and you tripped and started choking on
Ah.
an apple, and you didn't survive, and there was some issues there that basically was connected with basically that was connected with you being your anxiety and your breathing issues.
Yeah. No, I just remember something with an apple.
Mm-hmm.
Very, like, I can breathe really well right now, so
Great. So
yeah.
what about well, before that, the life as Lisa, the purpose of that life was to remind you that life sometimes is short and unpredictable. Unpredictable when things happen. So yeah, that was interesting. Um, what about Frank? Do you remember Frank?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, he was an elderly man and Paris, um, who what sounds like he maybe had Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
Right. And
Did I say that?
you didn't say it, but you said that he was losing his memory.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
yeah, and I guess you felt lonely because the daughter didn't visit as much as you wanted her to, and she felt bad because she wanted to visit but wasn't able to. Um, oh, let me back up. Your life as Lisa, the little girl. Your friend Celine was your twin brother in that lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
So that was interesting. And also as the life as Frank, um, the grandson Noy is your best friend Julia's son Nino. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? And his second name is Noe.
Noy.
Yeah. So my best friend's son is called Nino Noe.
Oh, wow.
And that's the name, right? That you said.
Yeah, that's interesting. Nino Noy. Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
That's amazing. And so he was a painter, and the lesson from that life is that um, that to know that he's loved even when he can't see it. And he didn't learn that lesson in life. He gave up. He gave up. What about Emma? Do you remember Emma?
Yeah.
What do you remember about Emma?
She was the mom
Mm-hmm.
with the little baby.
Mm-hmm.
And then she left and she kind of built her own life. Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So she's in the 1920s in the Netherlands, and her her significant other left when she was 8 months pregnant, and pretty much left her. I guess so. From what it sounds like, he maybe had a drinking problem, and he would leave and come back and leave. And the last time he left, she didn't accept him back. So, but it looks like you did meet someone else. You moved along and got another place, and you met someone else once you learned to trust yourself. That was a big lesson in your life, to learn to trust yourself and make your own decisions. Yes, yes, yes. And Ed, the child Ed in that life, is your brother. Remember that?
Yeah, my younger brother, right?
Right. Fabrice. Fabrice, I think
Yeah.
I'm saying it right. Yeah. Yeah. And so we also, when we spoke to the higher self, we found a few attachments. You remember that?
The one in the hips, yeah.
What about the other one? Do you remember the other one?
Something in my jaw.
In your jaw. Mm-hmm. In your jaw and your temples. And
or in my head, yeah.
Your jaw and temples. That was Dahlia.
Yeah.
So it's like they, from past life, instead of them going to the light, they stayed attached to you. They didn't go to the light, they just attached to you. Dahlia felt, you remember what Dahlia said, why she never know why she didn't go to the light?
Something about protecting or something.
Yeah, she felt she needed to protect you.
Mm.
Because in the other life, as Emma, she felt like, you know, you couldn't make responsible decisions for yourself, and she needs to be there to help you make decisions. So
that's intense.
Yeah. Yeah. So we had to assist her in moving out.
Yeah.
She went lovingly. And the same with Frank. He just wanted to feel alive again. He wanted to feel like he could move.
Oh, Frank.
Right? That's
good old Frank.
right. But he apologized and said, "I'm sorry."
Oh. Yeah, I understand, Frank.
And so, based on what your higher self said, though, that's the reason they had to have the session today, to remove those entities, because those needed to be removed because they were causing you issues that with be able to move freely, etc.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right. And so when I asked them what's holding you back from being fully yourself, do you remember what was said?
The attachments, right?
Attachments were
yeah.
holding, yeah, and that you'll be okay now.
Oh, great. Yay!
You'll be okay now. Also, when I asked how can you better take care of yourself physically, again, it was dancing and moving around, laughing out loud more, lots of movement, drinking lots of water. It says you know that, but you're scared to move.
Yeah.
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 And I think that might be the cause of what Frank was and Dahlia were maybe causing you also. When asked where or what is home and what your search, what town will you feel at home in, said that your base will always be in Switzerland, but you'll move around. That you're an explorer. That's you're supposed to be doing that, and that you'll settle down after your trip to Japan, and you'll settle somewhere in Europe. But then you'll still move around.
Okay.
But you will feel at home in Europe.
Well, I'm going to Japan, so that's nice. That I will feel more home.
Let's say you're on track, though. Let's say you're on the right track.
Right.
When asked why you feel lonely, Um, so because you don't feel safe with yourself yet. And that remember that before, because you said that you feel lonely, especially when you're with your family, that remember that they just want what's best for you. So before you get angry with them, just remember that.
Mm-hmm.
And when asked how you can feel more present in your body, more sensations, the response was to spend more time in tune with nature, to walk on the earth more, and remind yourself to take deep breaths, and that they will help you with that.
Oh.
And I think that was pretty much it.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So how do you feel overall?
I feel good.
Mm-hmm.
I feel lighter.
Feel lighter. Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Yay!
You heard my daughter in the background. They could have come at a better time. That could not have come at a better time.
She thinks it's
That
awesome.
was a sign. That was a sign from the universe. Yes, definitely. Everything's gonna be perfect now. Right?
Great. So cute.
Yes, awesome.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
How long have you been doing this work? Is this something?
For a few months now.
Oh, wow. So not that long.
No.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
How did you find this or get into this?
I've basically always been attracted to this type of work from years ago, but didn't listen and went elsewhere, and then found myself back in the same space. And then basically discovered something called QHHT. I don't know if you heard of it, which is quantum healing. Okay, so that basically led me to this, and so it was kind of like a full circle of things.
Wow.
Yeah, and so it's amazing. I feel great doing it. I feel great being able to assist in this way.
Yeah.
And it's indescribable.
Yeah.
So I thank you for allowing me to be able to witness and guide you.
Yeah, it was so, yeah, it felt really, your voice is very soothing.
Okay.
Like it's very warm. You feel like you're in like a big hug.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So overall, is this something that you would recommend to someone else?
Yeah. It was very, I'm really surprised that it's been like, what, 2 hours or 3 hours? I'm like, and also when you were counting in the beginning, I was so relaxed. Yeah. It's almost like I couldn't feel my body. I was really like, yeah, it was very relaxing. And that's amazing. With like all these stories, it resonates so much with kind of where I'm at, and it makes so much sense. So yeah, I would definitely recommend this. Yeah. And I feel like it's so, it must be so individual what comes up for people. Like, and kind of, it's interesting how these stories came up, but they also kind of tied in with the questions I have asked. So it's really interesting how it kind of explained
because
some
your
of
higher
those
self always knows what the issue is and what you need to know, and it'll always take you where it needs to take you. You know, I can't guide you to a specific place. Your higher self knows what you need to see and what you need to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I would definitely recommend that. That's amazing.
Awesome. Before you go, do you remember the sad memory with your father?
Yes.
And how do you feel about that?
I've thought about this, like this kind of kept, I've thought about this memory a few times before. Not like within the past few weeks, but like it's one that is kind of like present from my childhood.
Mm-hmm.
But I never, like when you took me back to go back and then we talked together, right?
Mm-hmm.
You hugged me or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I never saw that. Like that was like a puzzle piece that it feels a bit different now
Mm-hmm.
than before.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was, yeah. I feel like I feel much more compassionate now towards his reaction, even though I don't think it's okay to act that way, but that's not my choice, but I can see it differently now and how there is causes for him to be this reactive in this situation. So yeah, I've never experienced it like that before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Would you like to? You're welcome. Would you like to share any part of this video to assist others and maybe possibly getting the same type of assistance?
Like you sharing it or me sharing it?
No, me sharing sharing it with others, like
Oh yeah,
part of the channel. Yeah.
yeah.
Awesome. And we can, take out any parts. I'll send you a copy so you can take a look at it again, because a big part of this also is being able to watch the video because you don't remember everything. And it assists a lot. Sometimes you'll have things occur over the next few days or maybe possibly or even months that will assist you as well further. So I'll send you a copy, of course. And